Well, good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure, both professional and personal, to welcome Penny, to welcome Richard, to welcome the entire team here for AUSMIN. I think we don't need much proof, but here's more evidence of it, that the United States and Australia get along swimmingly. We've seen that in Paris. We see that again here today. Yeah.
We know.
Should be close to press.
But we swim together, and here we are. To both of you, to everyone here, thank you for coming together for AUSMIN. We are building on Prime Minister Albanese's visit in October of last year. We're building on the last AUSMIN we had, where you were so graciously hosted us, and we wanted to return, more than return the favor. As the President said last October, our alliance, the alliance between Australia and the United States, is an anchor to peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific. And not just the Indo-Pacific, globally. Deepening cooperation across the pillars of our alliance: security, economic, climate, clean energy. These have been the hallmarks of the work that we've done over the last few years. On security, we're working together to advance stability, prosperity in the Indo-Pacific and beyond, and we stand together in addressing threats to peace and security. We've made extraordinary progress under AUKUS, as well as bilaterally, toward having seamless defense cooperation and innovation between our countries. And we deeply appreciate Australia's commitments as well at the NATO summit to Ukraine's defense. Economically, Australia and the United States are simply essential partners. The United States is the largest foreign investor in Australia and the largest recipient of outbound FDI from Australia. This relationship is genuinely an innovation alliance, as our leaders stated in October. We have the public and private sectors cooperating in emerging technology, from quantum to AI. We're working together to facilitate high-quality infrastructure in Southeast Asia and the Pacific, and of course we co-hosted the first Pacific Banking Forum in July in the United States to ensure banking services in the Pacific. And finally, on climate and clean energy, we're partnering together for the clean energy transition. Our Critical Minerals Task Force is working to ensure sustainable, resilient, secure critical minerals and clean energy, not just for us, but for the entire world. So in these and so many other areas, our countries are bound together. But this meeting, bringing together our foreign policy and security teams, is a foundational element of the relationship and all the work that we're doing together. We couldn't be more pleased to have you here. So welcome. We look forward to the work. Penny?
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Lloyd. It is such a great pleasure for Richard and I and our teams to be here with you. And I start by reflecting again on our relationship and the alliance, which is about who we are, it's about what we stand for, and it's also about what we want in the world. And if you look through the agenda we have, the work that we are doing together across the different lines of effort in our partnership, it is wide and it is deep, and it is being renewed over and again. Obviously, I would say we also meet today in the shadow of the deteriorating situation in the Middle East. We want to acknowledge your leadership and your work on that, the extraordinary efforts, Tony, you've engaged in to broker peace and to advance President Biden's ceasefire proposal. Ceasefire has been urgent for months. It's never been more urgent than it is now. That is only one domain in which the United States and others, but particularly the US, is having to show leadership. Obviously, Ukraine too, and in the Indo-Pacific. In the Indo-Pacific, the security guarantee by the United States has enabled a long period of prosperity and peace that we have enjoyed, and it has never been more vital. It's never been more vital. We see this AUSMIN as another opportunity for us to together work at how we
Well, good
rise
morning,
to the
everyone.
challenges for
It's
today.
a
To
great
ensure
pleasure,
that our
both,
alliance, our
professional and personal, to
partnership, our
welcome
work together is
Antony,
fit
to welcome
for
Richard,
the
to welcome
times,
the
delivers for
entire team
our shared objectives
here
and
for
aspirations,
AUSMIN.
and for the region that we live in and we
I
trade
think
in.
we don't need much proof,
You know,
but
we are
here's more evidence
stronger
of it,
together,
that the
and at a
United States
personal
and
level, can I
Australia get
say
along swimmingly.
how much
We've
we
seen that in
appreciate
Paris.
our personal
We see
friendships,
that again here today.
and how much as an ally and friend
yeah.
we respect and appreciate the work
Should be
of
close
both
to
of you
press.
and this administration in the priority you have given
no,
and
we
continue
swim
to
together,
give
and
to alliances and
and here we are.
partnerships. It is
to both of
an
you, to
extraordinary
everyone here. Thank you for coming
to
together
date
for
and ongoing.
AUSMIN. We are building on Prime Minister Albanese's visit in October
Thanks,
of last year.
Penny.
We're building on
Deputy
the
Prime
last
Minister
AUSMIN we
Marles
had
and
where
Foreign
you
Minister
were
Wong.
so graciously hosted
Welcome
us,
to
and we
Annapolis.
wanted to return.
You can tell by looking
more than
at
return
the
the favor.
faces of all these
As
sailors in
President
the
said
room that
last
they're
October,
delighted to
our
be here
alliance,
at what they
the alliance
believe is
between
the center
Australia
of
and
the
the United
universe.
States is an anchor to peace
And welcome
prosperity
to
in
the
Indo-Pacific.
34th
And
Australia-U.S.
not just the Indo-Pacific.
Ministerial Consultations. And it's great to be here
Deepening
with my
cooperation across
my
the
friend
pillars
and
of our
colleague,
alliance,
Secretary Blinken.
security, economic,
Thanks to the
climate,
United
clean
States
energy.
Naval Academy for
These have been
hosting
the
us.
hallmarks of the work that we've done.
You know, this is
over the
our
last few
third
years.
AUSMIN together.
On security, we're working
And each
together
time we've
to
made
advance
historic
stability,
strides
prosperity
and
in the
strengthened
Indo-Pacific
our
and
alliance.
beyond.
And I'm
we stand
confident
together
that we'll continue
addressing
to
threats
deliver
peace
today.
and security.
We're poised
We've
to
made
advance
extraordinary progress under
major
AUKUS,
force posture initiatives.
as well as bilateral.
We'll take steps to
toward
deepen
having
our
seamless
defense industrial cooperation, on
and,
co-development, co-production,
innovation between our countries.
and co-sustainment.
And we deeply appreciate
And that includes supporting
Australia's
Australia's
commitments as well
guided weapons and
at the NATO
explosive
summit to
ordnance
Ukraine's
enterprise.
defense.
We'll also
Economically,
identify new opportunities with
Australia and the United
like-minded
States are
allies and
simply
partners, including
essential
Japan,
partners.
India,
The United
and
States
the
is
Philippines.
the largest foreign investor in
For
Australia.
more than a century,
and the largest
the United
recipient
States
of
and
outbound
Australia
FDI
have worked shoulder
from
to
Australia.
shoulder.
This
Australia remains
relationship
an
is
indispensable
genuinely an
ally.
innovation alliance, as
We're
our
working
leaders stated
together
in October.
today to tackle
We have
shared
public and
security
private
challenges
sectors
from
cooperating
coercive
in emerging
behavior by the
technology,
PRC
from quantum
to Russia's
to
war of
AI.
choice
We're working
against
together to facilitate high-quality
to the
infrastructure
turmoil in the Middle East.
in Southeast Asia and the Pacific.
And I know that
and of
this
course,
year's
we co-hosted
AUSMIN
the first Pacific
will deliver
Banking Forum in
results
July
for both of our
in the United
peoples.
States to
So,
ensure banking
Richard,
services
Penny,
in the Pacific.
thanks for making the
And
trip,
finally,
and I
on
look
climate
forward to
and
some
clean
great
energy,
discussions.
we're partnering together for the clean energy transition.
Well, thank
Critical
you,
Minerals Task Force
Lloyd.
is
Thank you,
working to
Tony.
ensure sustainable,
It's great for Penny and I to
resilient,
be here.
secure
Great to be
critical
here
minerals and clean
at
energy,
the Naval
not just for us,
Academy.
but for the entire world. So in these,
we have
so
a
many
new
other
Chief of
areas,
Defence Force since
our
when we
countries are bound
last
together, but
met you.
this meeting,
Admiral Johnson is the
bringing
first Admiral,
foreign
first
policy
member of the
and
Navy to
security
be our Chief of Defence
teams
Force for quite some
is
time.
a
So as
foundational
we are
element of the
experiencing a Navy
relationship
takeover
and all the
of
work that we're
our
doing together,
Defence
couldn't be
Force,
more
it
pleased
feels
to have you
particularly
here.
apt that we
So,
are here
welcome.
at
Look forward to
Annapolis. This is the 34th AUSMIN.
Thank
It's
you,
the
Tony.
third that
Thank
the four
you,
of us
Lloyd.
have had the
It is such a great pleasure
honour of being
for
the
Richard and I and
custodians
our teams
of.
to be
And
here,
as
with
we
you.
meet today, when we
And
think about
I
the
start by
last
reflecting
couple of years in
again,
which we've been working
on
so closely
our
together,
relationship and the
it really
alliance,
has
which
been a
is
period
about who
of
we are,
intense
it's about what
activity
we
but
stand
intense
for,
achievement.
and it's also about
When
what
we
we
now have
want
a
in the
pathway
world.
forward
And if you
in
look through
terms
the
of
agenda,
Australia
we have
acquiring a
the
nuclear-powered
work that
submarine
we are doing
capability
together
from the United
across
States and the
the
United
different
Kingdom
lines
under
of
the banner of
effort,
AUKUS, and we're
in our
making
partnership.
progress
It
in
is
terms of
wide
AUKUS
and it
Pillar
is
2
deep,
as well.
and it is
if you look
being
at
renewed,
the
over
force
and again.
posture of the United States
Obviously,
on the
I
Australian
would
continent,
say
we've seen a
we
growth
also
in
meet today in the
marine
shadow of the
rotation in Darwin. We
deteriorating
look forward in the
situation
coming
in the Middle East.
years
I want
to the
to-
submarine
we want to
rotational
acknowledge your,
force in
leadership and your
Perth.
work,
But in fact,
on
that force
the
posture
extraordinary
laydown
efforts, Tony,
of the United
you've
States in
engaged
Australia is
to,
across all
broker
domains,
peace and to
from
advance President
US
Biden's
Army
ceasefire
watercraft
proposal.
through to logistics at Bandiana. These
you
are
know,
all
it's,
decisions that we've
ceafire's
taken in
been urgent
past
for months.
AUSMINs,
It's
but
never
we're
been more
actually
urgent than it is
implementing.
now.
Like there's a real change.
That is only one domain
it is
in
a
which the
significant
United
contribution
States and others,
to integrated
particularly
deterrence
the
within
US,
our
is
region,
having
but
to
it's a
show
really
leadership.
significant contribution to the peace
Obviously, the Ukraine
of the Indo-Pacific.
too,
We're working more
and,
closely
in the
together
Indo-Pacific.
in our industrial bases. The legislation that went through the Congress last year, which was complemented by the legislation that went through our Parliament in March of
has
this year
enabled a long
has
period of prosperity and
transformed
peace
the
that, we have enjoyed.
seamless ecosystem
and it has
between our
never been more
two
vital.
defence industrial bases,
It's
which are
never
now
been more
yielding
vital.
real dividends in
We
guided
see
weapons,
this
for
AUSMIN
example. And we are
as
seeing a
another
blossoming
opportunity for us
of
to
relationships within the
together work
Indo-Pacific,
at how we rise to the
trilaterals
challenges
between
for
ourselves
today,
and Japan,
to
the work that
ensure
you've
that
been
our
doing with
alliance,
Japan and
our
Korea, and
partnership,
what
our
that
work
has
together is
unlocked
fit
in terms
for
of
the
the ability
times,
for us to work with
delivers
those
for
countries as
our
well.
shared
And all of
objectives
that
and
is giving rise to a
aspirations,
much
and for the
safer
region
region.
that we live in and we
I really
trade
want
in.
to echo the point that Penny made.
We are
And as a
stronger
global
together.
power,
And at
you've
a
got so
personal
much on
level,
your
can I
plate.
say,
We look to your
how
leadership
much
in the
we
Middle East. We
appreciate
very much
our
look to your
personal
leadership in
friendships,
Ukraine.
and
But
how much
we
as an
could
ally
not
and
be
friend
happier
we
with
respect and appreciate the work of both of you and this administration in the priority you have given and continue to give to alliances and partnerships. It is an extraordinary achievement to date and ongoing.
Thanks, Penny. Deputy Prime Minister Marles and Foreign Minister Wong, welcome to Annapolis. You can tell by looking at the faces of all these sailors in the room that they're delighted to be here at what they believe is the center of the universe. And welcome to the 34th Australia-U.S. Ministerial Consultations. And it's great to be here with my friend and colleague, Secretary Blinken. Thanks to the United States Naval Academy for hosting us. You know, this is our third AUSMIN together, and each time we've made historic strides and strengthened our alliance. And I'm confident that we'll continue to deliver today. We're poised to advance major force posture initiatives. We'll take steps to deepen our defense industrial cooperation on co-development, co-production,